Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. I'm Shahada Abdul Rashid. Welcome to our program today. We have a very special program for you. It is a story time and a theater, a reader's theater. So this is new for us, but it's going to be exciting and amazing. It's with award-winning author Jamilah Thompkins-Bigelow. And this story time is a part of In the Path of Islam. The Path of Islam is an exhibit, an experience, all wrapped in one. So once you enjoy this story time, you will be able to view all of our other events on our website, freelibrary.org/Path of Islam. You'll see additional events, as well as you can even sign up for a guided tour to view our exhibition. The exhibition is right now. It's at the Parkway Central Main Library on the 3rd floor, so feel free to come on down, check us out, or you can even schedule a guided tour. At this time, I will turn it over to our author, Sister Jamilah Thompkins-Bigelow. Thank you.
Okay. All right, good afternoon. You're so quiet. And hello, assalamu alaikum. Oh, y'all gave me the full greeting. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you so, so much. It's so good to see you. I am AuthorJamilah, and I'm going to share 2 of my books with you today. All right, so I'm going to be sharing, these are all of my books, but I'm going to be sharing with, yeah, I wrote the words that are in the book. So I didn't make the pictures, but I wrote the words for the books. I'm an author.
That picture right there.
Which one? This one?
No, the one with the Abdulls.
Yes, that spells Abdul. His name is Abdul, so Abdul's story. So I'm going to be reading to you Abdul's story, and it's kind of hard to stand it up here. And I'm going to, sorry. And I'm going to be reading Mommy's Khimar to you as well, okay? So has anybody ever read any of these books before or heard them before? Or are these all new?
Me.
Oh, you did, okay. Cool, cool. All right, so without further ado, I think I'm going to start with Mommy's Khimar. So Mommy's Khimar is a book about a little girl who loves to pretend with her mommy's headscarves, her mommy's khimar. She puts them on, she dresses up with them. I don't know if I would recommend you do this, but she dresses up and pretends to be different things with her mom's khimars. And so before I start, I wanted to actually share with you some of my favorite khimars, because this little girl's actually kind of based on me. When I was young, when I was like 5, I used to love playing with my mom's khimars, with her hijabs. I used to love playing dress up with them. And now I have my own closet of khimars that I would like to share with you as well. I brought some of my favorites I'd like to share with you as well from my closet. So one of them that I love is this one. Yeah, I love this one because it's kind of shimmery, it's satiny, silky. It makes me feel very elegant, and you can see it picks up the light really fancy. So this is why I love this one. So I put this one on when I'm wanting to feel elegant. Another khimar that I love is actually a gift from my mom. So my mom comes from West Africa, from a country called Guinea, and this is actually from there. So it's a style that comes from there, and if you notice, yeah, it has these really bold, so a lot of those khimars from there are very bold and bright, and this has a really bold, bright pattern with these like stones in them. And this one you might wear if you're going to like Jumu'ah, like for Friday prayer, or to the Eid. So this is, you know, why I love this one. I'm just gonna put that over there. And then this one, yes, I love it because of the cool pattern, but also all of these frills. I put this one on when I'm kind of feeling myself and I want to be kind of cool that day. And I just dropped my hanger. I like this one. This one is a fun one. So those are some of my favorites. Let's see some of the khimars that are in Mommy's closet. in this book. So Mommy's Khimar, written by me, that means the words came from me, and the illustrations are by Ebony Glenn. So Ebony was the one who created the pictures. Yes, her name is Ebony Glenn. Nope, not me. Ebony's a different person. A khimar is a flowing scarf that my mommy wears. Before she walks out the door each day, she wraps one around her head. In Mommy's closet, there are so many khimars, so many that I can't count them. Black ones, white ones, purple, blue, and red, stripes, patterns, and polka dots too. Do you see any patterns that you like or colors that you like?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, some people say that they do. Yes.
I like the one with the tank with the dog.
Oh, yeah, that's a cute one.
I like the one. No, the one that's after that red one that she.
Oh, yeah, she's got some good patterns. I gotta get in this closet. Well, no, I shouldn't, because I have too many khimars in my closet. I don't need any more. Some have tassels, some have beads, some have sparkly things all over. And she has my favorite color. What's her favorite color?
Yellow.
Yellow. When I put on Mommy's Khimar, I become a queen with a golden train. All right, I'm gonna get into character and I'm gonna put on Mommy's Khimar. Mm-hmm.
You took it from the book.
Yes, I did. I took it.
You grabbed it from the book.
I grabbed it from the book so that I could be in character.
What? You look like a girl from like the East Sand Desert.
Ah, cool. Under the khimar, my braids and twists form a bumpy crown. Does anybody else have lots of braids and twists? I see some braids. I see some twists. It's not easy to cover the many plaits Mommy puts in my hair. When I wear Mommy's khimar, I shine like the sun. I dive and become a shooting star into a pile of clouds. Of course, I make sure that Mommy doesn't see me. Where is she really diving?
Into her bed.
Yes, into her bed, pretending to dive into clouds. When I wear Mommy's khimar, I am a mama bird. I spread my golden wings and shield my baby brother as he sleeps in his nest. Mommy shakes her head, but her eyes are smiling. Can you all pretend to give baby brother a mama bird hug? A big wide one with big wide wings. Oh, good mama bird hugs. I love them. When I wear Mommy's khimar, I am a superhero in a cape, dashing from room to room at the speed of light. Daddy snatches me up and I fly. And Mommy can't stop laughing when his bristly beard tickles my cheek with a kiss. When I was little, my dad used to tickle my cheek with his bristly beard. When I wear Mommy's khimar, Mommy is with me even when she's away. I close my eyes. And if I breathe in, close your eyes, let's close our eyes. And if I breathe in deeply, really deeply, take a deep breath. I smell the coconut oil in Mommy's hair and the cocoa butter on her skin. And if I breathe in even more deeply than that, I smell the cinnamon in her favorite dessert. Can you imagine that? She always shares a piece. When I wear Mommy's khimar and Mom visits after Sunday service, she sings out Sweet Jesus and she calls me Sunshine. Mom doesn't wear a khimar and she doesn't go to the mosque like Mommy and Daddy do. We are a family and we love each other just the same. This is like my kid's grandmom and also one of my grandmoms. She was like this.
So you wrote the words?
I did write the words.
All of them?
All of them. It's a lot of work.
Write it with a pencil?
Well, somebody typed these, but at first I started with a pen. Yeah, somebody typed them, not me. When I go to the mosque wearing Mommy's khimar, the older women coo, Assalamu alaikum, little sis. Yeah, you can say wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. Oh, so sweet. Yes, assalamu alaikum is how we say hi, right? And mommy smiles so proud. Well, yeah, definitely. My Arabic teacher exclaims, beautiful, beautiful hijab. And hijab is the word she uses for khimar. And sometimes I say hijab too. When I wear mommy's khimar and we go home and it starts to get dark outside, mommy tells me gently, take it off. It's time for sleep. She removes the khimar from her head and I remove mine. We hang them up for the night.
I think you skipped 2 pages.
Nope, I didn't. Nope. I look around at all the khimars, too many to count. I stroke the yellow scarf one last time. I close my eyes and breathe in deeply, really deeply. And if I breathe in deeply enough, I can take mommy's khimar with me. I place it inside my head. I take other things and place them there too. Wonder what else she puts in there. A crown with a train, the sun and a shooting star, a baby dozing on a golden wing. I take a ticklish kiss in the sky, coconut and cocoa with a cinnamon sweet, and the prayers of gray-haired women. This is my favorite illustration that Ebony did.
I love cinnamon. You read that before?
Mm-hmm.
I love cinnamon.
Me too.
Cinnamon.
I take all these things with me.
The other colors?
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow colors? Yeah.
I take all these things with me and go to sleep. Though mommy is away, it feels like she comes too. The end. Thank you for listening to that story. All right. Thank you. So we're going to read this story. It's called Abdul's Story, and it's my newest book. It's brand new. Almost no one has heard it. I just wrote this book. All right. And I want to show you something. It's illustrated by Tiffany Rose. So this is illustrated by Tiffany. Her name is Tiffany Rose. Yeah, I actually want to read this one. I wrote the words, and she did the pictures.
Did you work with her?
I did. Now, something I want to show you before I even start the story.
Why did you make 2?
Well, I have a few books, more than 2, yeah. Because I'm a children's book author, so I write books. That's what I do. That's my job. So if you notice here, what do you see here? What's this?
Eraser.
Eraser with smudges. And an eraser is really, really a huge problem in this story. You can believe it. In this story, Abdul tries to write, but every time he writes, he sees a mistake and he erases everything that he writes until he has nothing but smudges. And so an eraser is a huge, huge problem in this story. So when you hear the word erase, because you're going to hear erase a lot in this book, I want you to pretend you're holding an eraser. So you're going to hold it like this. And I want you to go like this. Yeah, erase. You're going to erase. You're going to go back and forth like you're erasing, like 3 times. Erase. Erase. Oh, we're doing some good erasing. All right, so we know what to do. Perfect. You know what to do. All right, so perfect. We're ready? We're ready? We're ready? Okay, good. Abdul loved to tell stories. He told one about the high-stepping kids who collected donations and boots, another about the teenagers who danced in subway cars. He had one about the bow tie-wearing man hawking bean pies on Broad Street. I don't know if anybody's ever had bean pie. And about the woman who sold water ice from her basement on hot summer days. So some of y'all had water ice? Have you seen people dancing in the subway? No. That's a good question, though. Writing these stories was hard, though. Does anybody else feel like writing is hard sometimes? Yeah. Making lowercase b face the right way was tricky. P and S, too. Can you take your finger and make a lowercase b? Do it. Is it tricky remembering which way it goes? No? No? Okay.
Yes.
For some people it is.
Sometimes I just do it like any way. It's like this way, just this way.
Yeah, I think my son does the same thing. It's like wherever way he wants it to go. Silent letters were, silent letters were downright sneaky. How could Abdul know there was an E if it never made a sound? Do you know when a silent E goes in a word? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot of us. Huh? Abdul's confused by that. Abdul loved straight lines like the ones his barber shaved, but Abdul's scribbly, scratchy, scrawly letters never stayed on any line. This was my problem as a kid, too. And even now as a grown-up, my words go all over the place. They're not as neat as I'd like them to be.
I think that's how you cursive.
During writing period each day, he wrote, then erased. You forgot. Erase. Wrote, then erased. Wrote, then erased. His classmates had neat sentences, and Abdul had smudges. Why write his stories anyway? The people and places in his school books never looked or sounded like the people or places he knew. Some stories are for books, Abdul decided, but not his. Do you think Abdul's right? Should his stories not be written down? Should they not be in books?
Yes.
I kind of think they should be in, yeah, you said no. I think they should be in books. I'd love to see a book with people dancing in subways. One day, Abdul's class had a visitor. Mr. Muhammad had lines straighter than straight around his beard and hairline. His sneakers, like Abdul's, had not a single crease or scuff. Mr. Muhammad was a writer. He read a story about a watchful boy with hair shaved low and skin the color of night. I love that skin color. Women braided hair on front steps in this story. Girls with clacking beads jumped rope, and men in white thobes prayed on the sidewalk outside a full storefront mosque. The boy watched over this community. Write new stories with new superheroes, Mr. Muhammad said. Yeah, they're praying. Have you ever seen people praying on the sidewalk because there's not enough room in the masjid?
I did that in the hospital because my brother almost chopped off his tongue.
Oh.
The airport like this.
I hope he's okay.
I saw people praying next to the airport.
Yeah, people do that too. Abdul pressed his paper down firmly. All right, hold on. Mashallah, that's good. Abdul pressed his paper down firmly. He could be an author like Mr. Muhammad. But B played tricks again. Mr. Muhammad walked around reading each child's work. He was getting close. Does silent E go here? Silent U? Erase, erase, erase? Abdul tried writing neatly. Write, erase, erase, rip. He slammed down his pencil. Jada and Kwame had pages of words, and Abdul had a hole. Have you ever erased so much you put a hole in your paper? Abdul slid down, down, down under the table. He imagined an eraser big enough to erase himself. Can we do a sad erase? Isn't that sad? This picture always gets me. Nice sneaks. Can I see your story? Mr. Muhammad asked. I don't got a story, Abdul whispered. Everyone has stories. Yes. Well, that's how Abdul says it, right? Everyone has stories, but I can't write them, Abdul pointed. Me neither, Mr. Muhammad said. Come with me. I want to show you my notebook. That's a mess. By the way, I have a notebook like this, or I keep notebooks like this. I get messy words out, so good words come too. I fix the mess later. Before walking away, he said, keep trying, and that gave Abdul an idea. Bismillah, he said. All right. Now, I want everybody to pretend that you are holding a pencil. Don't hold a real one, but hold a pencil like this. Because Abdul has an idea. He's taking his pencil just like this, and we're going to do what Abdul does with it. We're going to do this. Snap. Why did he break his pencil? Anybody know why? Any ideas? Yes. Yes, he keeps erasing, right? And so this is a way to break the habit. Did you have a question? Oh, because she didn't have a chance to act. Yes.
So he snapped the paper so he doesn't have to do this. Turn it back and forth.
Yes, exactly, so he could stop himself. So Abdul scribbled words and made mistakes without erasing. He wrote around the hole, filling the page. I wrote a mess like yours, Abdul told Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad smiled. Find a great story in there. Abdul squinted. He saw words misspelled but wondrous and sloppy-looking sentences he loved. Over the next few days, Abdul rewrote a less messy mess, then an even less messy mess. He smiled when he read his story to himself. But when it was time to hand it in, he didn't feel like smiling. That's sloppy, Jada said. You spelled a word wrong, Kwame added. Abdul slipped his paper underneath the others. Some kids are writers, Abdul thought, but not me. Days later, Mr. Muhammad returned. I loved your stories, he exclaimed. I had to read one again and again. It was so good. Everyone sat up. Everyone except Abdul. Kwame whispered, I bet it was mine. I spelled every word right. Jada whispered back, he probably liked mine. I have the best handwriting in class. Mr. Muhammad started reading the story in a loud, clear voice. It was about a boy with tall hair shaped with sharp lines and skin the orange-brown of sunrise. I love that color. He watched over the kids stomp, stomp, stepping down the block, and the ones breaking to the beat of a city train. He even protected the grown-ups who sold things and were like family. Abdul sat up. It was his story. And then Mr. Muhammad paused. He frowned at the page. Abdul's cheeks burned. Everyone listened, wide-eyed and silent. And Mr. Muhammad read on, stopping a few more times at mistakes, until he reached the end of the story. That was by Abdul, Mr. Muhammad said. Abdul slowly looked up. Everyone stared. Were they smiling? Yes, and clapping too. Let's clap for Abdul. Great story, Kwame told Abdul. I loved it, said Jada. When they returned to their writing, some of you are so excited about the story, you're still clapping. When they returned to their writing, Abdul whispered to Mr. Muhammad, what about my mistakes? Writers make mistakes. We'll work on them. As they worked, Abdul thought, some people are writers, and I am one of them. The end. I hope you enjoyed that.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. You all have been so wonderful. Thank you for acting with me. Thank you for listening. It has been such a pleasure.